Ever wonder if a woman is dropping hints that she's into you? Often the clues are hidden in the questions she asks during your conversations. Here's a breakdown of 6 questions women may use to subtly express their interest in you. Decoded and explained 1. Do you believe in love at first sight? When a woman asks if you believe in love at first sight, she's not just making conversation. She's opening the door to a discussion about your views on romance and attraction. This is one of those questions that may seem casual on the surface, but carries a lot of emotional depth. By bringing up the topic, she's testing the waters to see how you perceive love and whether you're open to the idea of instant chemistry. She might be hinting at her own romantic beliefs, or even subtly wondering if you felt something special when you first met her. This is her way of exploring your emotional side, without making the conversation overly serious. It's an indirect method of saying, "What do you think about us?" without actually saying it. To respond, be open and thoughtful. Share your perspective honestly, but with a touch of vulnerability. For instance, you could say something like, "I think love at first sight is rare, but it's possible when the right connection happens. What about you? Do you believe in it?" This not only keeps the conversation flowing, but also encourages her to share her thoughts, deepening the emotional connection between you two. What's your favorite way to relax after a long day? When she asks about how you unwind, she's not just making small talk. She's trying to understand what brings you peace and joy. This question offers her a glimpse into your daily life, your habits and your preferences. She wants to know what kind of person you are when you're not busy with work or other responsibilities. Are you someone who enjoys quiet, solitary moments? Or do you thrive in social settings and active environments? More importantly, this question helps her imagine how your downtime might complement hers. She's trying to picture whether the two of you could enjoy those relaxing moments together. If you're someone who loves binge-watching shows or going for evening walks, she's filing that information away as potential activities. You could share, to respond, talk about what truly helps you recharge. And don't be afraid to add a personal touch. For example, you could say, "I like to wind down with a good book or watch a favorite series. It's my way of escaping for a bit. What about you? How do you relax?" This shows that you value her input and are curious about how she spends her free time. If you discover a shared interest, it's an easy segue into suggesting doing it together. 3. Do you have any plans this weekend? At first glance, this question seems harmless, like she's just casually checking in on your schedule. But make no mistake, this is often her way of testing the waters, to see if you're open to spending time with her. By asking about your weekend plans, she's not just curious about your availability. She's also dropping a subtle hint that she'd like to be part of those plans. This question provides her with an opportunity to gauge how much of a priority she might be in your life. If you respond with excitement and suggest something to do together, it's a clear sign to her that you're interested. On the other hand, if you brush it off or don't reciprocate the enthusiasm, she might interpret that as a lack of interest. When answering, be mindful of how you phrase your response. Even if your weekend is packed, leave room for her. You could say something like, "I have a few things lined up, but I'd love to catch up if you're free. What about you, got anything fun planned?" This not only shows her that you value spending time together, but also opens the door for her to suggest an activity for. What's your idea of a perfect day? When a woman asks you about your idea of a perfect day, she's diving deeper than just your daily routine. She's exploring your dreams, values, and what truly makes you happy. This isn't a question about practicality. It's about envisioning an ideal scenario. and seeing how your ideal moments might align with hers. She's likely trying to imagine what it would be like to share those kinds of days with you. If your perfect day involves outdoor adventures, exploring new places, or simply relaxing at home with good company, she's taking mental notes to see if her interests and lifestyle could complement yours. Answering this question requires a mix of thoughtfulness and creativity. Paint a vivid picture of your ideal day and why it appeals to you. For instance, you might say, "My perfect day would start with a great breakfast, maybe a hike or sometime by the beach, and end with a quiet evening watching the stars." What about you? What does your perfect day look like? This response not only gives her insight into your personality, but also encourages her to share her vision, sparking a meaningful and imaginative conversation. 5. Have you seen that new movie? Show or place. When she brings up the latest movie, trending show, or popular local spot, it's rarely just about small talk. Instead, she's testing whether you share similar tastes and creating an opening for shared experiences. If you express interest in the topic, she may even follow up with a suggestion to watch it or visit the place together. This question is a clever way of seeing if you're on the same wavelength without making the conversation too heavy. She's essentially planting the seeds for future plans. Engaging, whether you're someone who's adventurous, curious, or in tune with popular culture. To respond, show genuine interest and take the opportunity to suggest something. For example, if she mentions a new movie, you could say, "I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard great things. Maybe we should check it out together." This response not only signals your interest in the topic, but also suddenly moves the interaction towards spending time together. 6. Do you enjoy cooking or trying new restaurants? Food is one of the simplest yet most intimate ways to connect. And when she asks about your culinary preferences, it's often a signal that she's thinking about sharing those experiences with you. Whether she's asking if you cook or love exploring new restaurants, she's hinting at the possibility of bonding over meals. Whether that's a cozy dinner at home or a night out at the latest hotspot. This question is about more than just your taste in food. It's about creating a shared experience that could bring you closer. She might be imagining a scenario where the two of you cook together. Or perhaps she's planning to suggest a date at a restaurant she's been wanting to try to respond. Share your enthusiasm for food and add a playful twist. For example, you could say, "I love experimenting in the kitchen, but I'm always up for trying new places. Do you have a favorite spot, or should we discover one together?" This shows that you're open to both cooking and dining out, leaving the door wide open for future plans with her. Each of these questions is more than just a way to fill silence. There are opportunities for her to connect with you on a deeper level. By listening carefully and responding thoughtfully, you not only decode her subtle hints, but also create moments that could strengthen the bond between you. The key is to recognize the intent behind her words and use these conversations to show your interest and build rapport. All I can do